Hello, happy beaders. Welcome. Okay, this looks, I'm trying out this landscape again and seeing how that works, and I'm still getting used to where the camera is, so it's a little different. So we're gonna see if we can do this today. How are you doing this fabulous Saturday, huh? Are you having a great Saturday? I hope so. I hope this Saturday brings you some joy, even if it's ugly outside. It is so overcast, but perfect for fall, right? That's where I'm at anyway. Everybody else that probably has different weather. Some of you are the same. There's a lot, seems to be a lot of things going on this week. Hello, welcome. Good to see you all on here. Thank you, thank you. My sister has something going on, my dear sister April. So Christine's going to help me with the links in there. So hopefully she's going to be, hopefully, I know she's going to do well. So just keep in mind, she doesn't do this all that. So we will get some copied and paste links in the comments from Christine today. And that'll be great. I will pass on the love to April because I know she will need it. She would enjoy that. She misses doing this with you. Hi, Joni. Hi, Joy. Hi, Gail. Hello, Sandra. Hi, Penjim. Hello, Stacy, Laura. Oh, look at all the wonderful people on here. Thank you. Thank you for hi, Lori. Hi, Joni. Yes, say hi to Christine hi, Lori, and she's gonna be popping on here real quick. Uh-oh, Tina, I am so sorry to hear that. We will make sure we'll grab that. You know, occasionally when we have big orders like we did last week, we accidentally get one slip, so we will double check and make and I know we do have one. So we'll just make sure we get that over to you. You're talking about this one, right, Tina? Just message us to remind us if you just message us, and then we'll make sure that gets to you. So sorry for that to happen. I'm glad you at least have one so you can start the day with ours. We are going to do our beautiful cuff today, right? Our beautiful cuff. Ooh, this one kind of goes with me, even though like this is the fuchsia and I'm wearing more coral, but it actually kind of goes. I think I'm going to pop that one on right now. Why not? And you're talking about the Brodonite. Very nice. What happened to my paper? So for those that are wanting a written, you should have seen, we have put in, oh, good. Okay, perfect. You will see the PDF version of this. Hello, Sabrina and Evelyn. Welcome. In our Just Bead It Happy Beaders group, and you can find that in the files. You can get your PDF copy. Mine got printed in black and white today, and which throws me off because it does come in color. And you can also get the JPEG form there. You can find the JPEG form, which is the photo form, in also on our JBI Happy Beaders group, in an album, and on the event page, and on our Facebook page. You can also go to JustBeadItConcord.com to get the PDF, and that should be up in the Facebook Live tab, and it probably will be under past lives, even though today it is today. We get our PDF links on there. And look at that. Thank you, Christine. Got a direct link right there for you for the PDF link off of there. Thank you, Gail. I did this to match another outfit, and then I realized it went with this. And then my honey made these for me, and I went, the swirlies kind of go with the little flow, and then it's copper, so it goes with that coral. So I kind of had to put it on today. I didn't think I had anything to wear with this dress, and then I went, boom, I got two things. I was so happy. Isn't that fun when you go, oh, those work? Let's see what else. And look at that. She got you another little link. So the links in the comments there for the PDF. We do still have a few of these available for you. So if you like how this went, you can always find our kits on our Etsy page. Our shop name is JustBeadItConcord, all one word. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Christine. Awesome. Yes, be part of our Just Bead It Happy Beaders group. If you're not part of it, ask to join and we'll get you in there. And that's where you can always find our PDFs and our JPEGs of our instructions. Very nice. Very fun. This is a 2-pager today, which is kind of, I feel like it got printed upside down, but it didn't. Ooh, and there's going to be a new color. Look at that. That one should go on there soon. Where is it? Is it going to focus on that? No, it's not really. It is enameled white with red. Kind of has, you know, it's great with the white, gold, and red, just in normal, but it kind of has like a candy cane look to it. Perfect for the winter. Also would be perfect for, you know, your Valentine's or just because you like red and white, right? Let's see. As far as tools, today all you're going to need is a pair of chain nose pliers, which are the ones that are flat on the inside. Let's see, it wants to focus on me in the background, right? And then round nose pliers, which are totally round. And then a pair of wire cutter. I'm using Microtronics today, but you can use whatever one that you have. Let's see. If it doesn't go, whoop, uh-oh, I don't know what I hit. I hit something funny. Oh. If it doesn't click, those links don't click, you can also copy and paste it and stick it into your browser and it should. So strange. Hello, happy Saturday to you, Rosalinda. Okay, awesome. Well, if anyone is having troubles, you can all finding if the links are quite going right, because sometimes depending on the device, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. We can always message you a direct link for you after this live, and this live will be available to rewatch at any time. So if you missed the first round, you can always catch it, rewatch it with the instructions if you need to, and we will send that. So just PM us, just PM Just Bead It, and we will be able to send you a direct link if you're having problems. Not so easy to do, so we can totally do that for you. So let me flip the camera over, and before I go over today's, I'm going to also show you next week and the week after, right? Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to do this one off the camera because it's so big. So we are going to do wire form snowflakes. I have one with me today. This is the biggest one. We're going to do kits that are going to showcase different colors, and there is 4 different size snowflakes on forms that comes with the kit, and so you'll be able to make 4, or you could get really we're playing around and we're thinking of actually wiring 2 together. We think that might look really good, which was really funny because we thought of that, and then we saw a post from Beadalon, which I thought was really cool, that they wired them together also. So I was like, great minds think alike, and we might join in that fun with ours. But we are going to be going over snowflake forms in 2 weeks. That is, let's see, today's the 6th. Next week is the 13th for this. So this is on the 20th. So on the 20th, we're going to go over snowflake forms. So we'll be doing 4 different sizes. Well, we'll have 4 different sizes in the kit. We'll make 2 of them and talk about how to wire them together to make them a double. Very full, very cool. We're going to post some pictures of what that kind of looks like in the event page when we get that up. We've had some different things going on this week that kind of has slowed our business part of it. So you might not have seen our event page for this until recently, and we're working on getting our event pages for the next ones, and we'll get those up very shortly. Oh, yes, great. Thank you, Christine, for adding the virtual class list in the comments. You can see all the dates and times. It's always 2 p.m. on a Saturday. It's just what Saturday and what project, and it is in there. Christine got that in our comments. I'm going to flip this over. Thanks, Mikey. Mikey's the one that made these beautiful earrings I'm wearing. Let's flip these over. Oh, I'm a different setup. So trying to remember how I'm flipping over in this is kind of funny. I hope I cleaned my screen. Did I do it? Oh, almost. Let's get this so that we're not... There we go. Awesome. Now, the next thing I need to do is get closer. That's going to be the problem. It doesn't get as close, apparently, when I do. Ooh! Sorry for dropping you all. I hope you didn't get hurt in that fall. There we go. All right, so next week we are doing our Starburst Mandala pendants that you could turn into a pendant. I'm going to try to make one set into a pair of earrings or a ornament. We think these would make really cool ornaments. And we have 6 different types, and these are going up on our Etsy this weekend. Look how beautiful they are. That's for next week on the 13th. They just sparkle with those crystals. You can see all the fun different colors. They're using gem duos and super duos and some seed beads and a filigree piece and some little flat, or no, they're not flatbacks. They're the chatons. So those are what we're going to do. And then the last weekend is our Small Business Saturday sale. So again, for today, we are going to be using round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, and a pair of wire cutters. You need, this is going to be what we make our cuff out of. That is what we make the base out of. It is 5mm flat wire by Artistic Wire. I am using the antique brass or vintage bronze, or it kind of depends on the company on what this color is being called. And I don't remember what that one is on, to be honest, but that is the color I'm going to use today. And then you need a 6 inches of chevron chain, and we, for our kits, used enameled chevron chain. And those are what we're, this is going to be a new one going up this weekend. But we still have the other 5 up there, and then this new one's coming up probably on, yeah, probably right after this, we'll get that up on there. And then I'm using just plain chevron. So this is just plain chevron chain that did not get the beautiful enamel, but I'm going to work with that today. Then we also need 10 to 12 fire polish. I'm using 4mm fire polish. So I got 12 there ready to go. And then you're going to want 3 feet of 24 gauge wire. And we are using, today I'm using the vintage bronze in the 24 in the soft flex craft wire for doing that. Hello, Catherine. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So just 3 feet of that. So 24 gauge wire, 4mm fire polish, some chevron chain. You can do this technique with other chain that's decorative. Absolutely. The chevron's just really nice. And then this is 5mm flat wire from Artistic Wire. It's about I think it's 0.75 millimeters thick and 5 millimeters wide. Yep. And then our 24 gauge wire. First thing what we want to do, now we pre-cut these to 8 inches. It's possible you might want a little bit less if you have a very small wrist, but one thing that's nice is you can adjust these to make them a little wider if you need to, or make them a little more narrow if you need to. So you can adjust this to get this to fit you better. I will say because of the thickness of this wire and the flat, how wide it is, you probably don't want to cut these with your good wire cutters. You want to cut them with something a little bit tougher, because it is, I can do these with my Tronics, but that would wear my Tronics out faster. So I used a different pair of cutters when I did it. You can't, for the most part, you want a nice flat cut on one end. We are curling those ends in, so you don't have to worry about the sharpness of the corners. But if you are doing less of a curve in it, then you could always take a little emery board or a file and just file or sand down those corners, round it out a little bit, and they won't be as sharp. But for what we're doing today, because we are going to curl them in, you're not going to have to worry about that. I am, the 24 gauge wire that I'm using is the vintage bronze. I'm using the vintage bronze to go with this. It like matches it almost perfectly. They are from two different companies. So sometimes the antique copper and the antique brass type colors, they come by different names. Like this one's vintage bronze. And they are just ever so slightly different, but it's good enough. It's going to work really well. We are making this beautiful chevron cuff today using chevron chain, some 4mm fire polish, 24 gauge wire, and flat wire, 5mm flat wire. First thing you want to do is start with your round nose pliers. Let's move these out of the way. And we are going to take and start to curl it up with my round nose pliers. So I started it with this side because round nose, now if you have like a step round nose pliers, or if you have where it's like the 3 steps and there's like, it goes down equally and then it's the next size and the next size, or maybe both sides there's the 6 and the there's 3 on both sides, you can use those pliers and they'll be able to make this a little more even because these taper, the round nose pliers taper. I'm just using the round nose pliers because that's what I have on hand, and I know that most people have a pair of round nose pliers. They don't always have the step nose pliers. Also, a pair of bell making pliers would also work for this. So when I started this, because of the taper, if you notice it's a little crooked, it's not like, it's a little slanted. So what I'm going to do is flip it the other way and grab it from this side now and curl it a little bit more so that I'm evening out that slant, because now I've got the widest part on that side. So I'm just going to kind of go a little bit at a time and start curling in. You do have to put a little oomph in it, right? But that evens it out by switching it from this side and then coming from this side, so that trying to show this under the camera is not as easy. It helps keeping it flatter. So I do want to kind of keep this edge flat with the curve, but it's also the part that goes around here is on the wider part. And then when I flip it this way, it's on the wider. Once I get it kind of mostly in my curve, I like to take my chain nose pliers and just grab that edge and kind of pull it around. Because when I grab it with my round nose pliers, it doesn't have enough surface to get, like, it's not as much contact between the plier and the wire to really grab it hard enough to continue that spiral. My chain nose pliers are better for that. I'm going to try not to grab it from the outside in case I mark it. I'm always trying to hold it from the inside, because then when it's curled in, you won't see any marks that I might make. And I'm just going to flip it from both sides to kind of help curve it. So now I'm going from the back side and just holding on really tight to that edge, and I'm just bending it around. Now I'm going to tell you, out of all the finishes that we used, we have copper, the antique brass, the rose gold, the gold, and the silver. The copper and the antique brass are the stiffest, and you're going to have a lot more oomph that you have to put in to do that, but it's still doable. The gold, for some reason, in our batch of gold is the easiest to form, and the silver and the rose gold are the next. So it's kind of like easiest, the next easiest, then the hardest here. They are all doable. It's just you gotta like oomph it. You gotta put a little bit more oomph in that curl. And it's really when we are, the only time that you really need that extra strength is in the beginning when you make the first curl, and then at the end when you make the second curl. Okay, so I got that. I may squish this in a little bit more once I get to the other side, and if I need to use it up a little bit more, I will do that. But right now, that's about all I'm going to do for my curl. Well, yeah. No, I think I'm going to go a little bit more. I'm going to just go grab it from behind and see how I'm holding really tight on the pliers, and I'm putting pressure on pushing on this wire to get that to go in a little bit more. So it's a little tighter. Now that I got that, and I did it in the opposite of what the natural curve is. When you got yours out, it probably was a little more curved like this. So you do probably want to open it up a little bit, press down on that to like kind of flatten it a little. We are going to use this natural curve that it has to form into the cuff shape. So you are curling it in the opposite direction. There. Now we're going to take our 3 feet of our 24 gauge wire. And I'm going to take one end of the 24 gauge wire, and I'm going to wrap it around by the spiral I just made, by the curl that I just made. I'm going to place it over it, and there's about like 3 inches here, and I'm just going to take this and wrap really nice and tight about 4 to 6 times. Sometimes I go more, sometimes I go less. And push them together. Go, might just do one more just for the sake of it. And then I'm going to cut off any extra. You might have a longer tail that you could cut off, and that's okay. Mine's just a little shorter. And then I'm going to just press that down a little bit so it's a little neater up against it, and push, out of the focus. Pushed in a little bit, cut that like halfway across, press that in, and then scoot it over to the curl. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, I think it is a fun little technique. It is something that I saw very similar to from Nile from Silver Silk. He did something with Silver Silk. I made a cuff bracelet during the Bead Along Challenge in February using the yellow, the same yellow that's in this one, and a lot of people really liked it. So as soon as we were able to buy this enameled chain, that was it's a Jesse James Beads chain. And as soon as we saw that that was available, we're like, oh, good, we get to make the cuff. And so we ordered some flat wire, and from artistic wire, and we ordered that enameled chain, and we're like, okay, now what? And we found some beads and thought it was really fun to work with. All right, so now that I have that up there on that edge, I'm going to bring this to the back, and we're going to get our chain out. So our chevron chain has these really cool links on here, right? You have so there's like a hole between the 2 wings, and then there's a loop. Now on this side, there's no, you just see that on the inside, you see the inside of the wings, and you see that little hole. On this other side, you're going to find that I cut that loop off, and it's the point of the chevron. Right? So we're going to use the part that is the wings, where we can see to start with. It's going to be the best way to anchor this. And we're going to go take our 24 gauge wire, and it's going to go up through the hole in the link between the two wings. I'm going to let this slide all the way down and place it. This one's not going to be as spectacular as my enameled ones, but I think it's still going to look really good. So I'm still excited about it. And I'm going to let it move slide. So sometimes this is going to move a little bit, and it is hard to work under the spiral. So I'm going to move it out away from the spiral, and I have the wrap on this side so that with my left hand I can lay the chain on top of that flat wire and kind of hold it in place a little bit. And it's not going to go perfectly down. We're just going to kind of fold it down right there. All right. And we're going to just catch. Get it a little closer there. I'm going to catch that chain. So see how it went over, it goes over one wing. You're more likely that you're going to go over one wing, and that's okay. And then I'm going to wrap now between those two links. So I'm catching like where the loop of the link is. So I went over the wing, and then wrapped it again and went between the two links. Do you see that okay? Does that make sense? Hit that little love button or the like button if that is good, if that makes sense. If not, I'll undo and show again. But the starting is the part that kind of is a little bit of the trickier part. Awesome. So glad to hear that. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so now that I've wrapped over that link and I wrapped between those two. Oh, thank you for all the hearts and the likes to let me know. Sometimes on this side, because it's so quiet on my side, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap one more time. I'm going to go between the next set of links. So I made 2 wraps. I made one wrap, or I made 3 wraps really. I wrapped down the wing on there, wrap between the 2 links here, and then 2 links here, right? So that gets us, if you happen to have the instructions already, or if you're watching this in the replay with the instructions, you will get that, got you through to step 4. Woohoo! Now, the picture is going to show it all up against, right underneath that. And I will tell you, sometimes it's hard to keep there. So if you are moving like this, for the first few wraps, you can keep it away from the spiral, but as you go, you're probably going to want to start moving it closer. The more wraps you get on, the easier that will be. So now we are ready to add our first bead. So we're going to take our first 4mm fire polish. I'm going to use this metallic teal color. Yes, Catherine, this is a kit. We do have these kits up there, and we'll be adding a new colorway right after. I'm going to pop this new colorway up there, this white and red. So it's going to be called white gold because of the white enameled and the gold base. So we're going to add that. And I might even do today's if people are interested in the color that I'm doing today. I might pop that one up also. These are the colors, the 5 colors that we have. We have the yellow with the antique brass, the fuchsia with the rose gold. These two have funny names, and I cannot remember their funny names for their blues. Okay, I say funny names. It's not really that funny, but they're names that I don't remember for some reason. So this one is with the gold, is with the darker, I think, and then this light blue with the silver. And then this one is called Rhodonite, which is like a navy, almost black. And that's with copper. And then this new one will be white and gold. Yes, this antique brass chain is just fabulous. We found that we had I thought we had all the finishes in this chain, so I was like, oh, that'd be perfect. We should get that on there. Nope, we don't have that. But so like the vintage bronze wire, this antique brass, which is kind of has a coppery tone, and then this antique brass chain. It just all looks really pretty, doesn't it? We got to get those up there, I think. So we are sliding that one bead, that 4mm bead down, and we're going to let this go, kind of sit like where the wraps were. See, so since we were, I want to get under, make sure I'm under the thing well enough. So since we wrapped between the links here and here, this is going to sit like on top of where that little wrap would be. And then we're going to wrap it around and come back up. So that secures that right there on top. And then I'm going to wrap 1, 2. So 2 without a bead. I'm just going right in between, making sure I don't catch. So sometimes these little wings like to get caught on that wire. So make sure before you go any further that it isn't. It's not a big deal, but sometimes it will throw off the way it lays a little bit, I found. I'm just using my left hand to constantly make sure that the chain is flat. I like that these two metals don't quite match, even though they're pretty much called the same thing, because they're from 2 different plating, and it gives such a nice little interest in that. So since I did 2 wraps without, this next one is going to be with a bead. So I'm going to add another 4mm. Now you could change your bead. You could use a different size bead, I'm sure. You could change this to a stone bead. You can change it to, I would say a bicone might be a little hard because it won't lay as flat, but I think a round would be okay in this. Any kind of flat bead would definitely work. And then wrap around. But the crystal, like a bicone crystal, might actually give it kind of a neat texture, so it might be worth a try. So I wrapped 2 times, 1, 2 without a bead, and you're just going to repeat that. It's 2 times without a bead and then 1 time with a bead, making sure that bead drops down. Around and 1, 2. There you go, like that. Thank you, Sandra. Yes, it has so much more seed beads and fire polish and 2-hole Czech beads, lots of Czech beads on there that we are unable to put up on our Etsy. And so it's a nice way to fill in those gaps and have more access to different types of beads and different colors. And I'm glad you like shopping it. Glad to hear that. So I'm just continuing adding 2 wraps that without the beads and putting one with the beads. You're going to use anywhere from 10 to 12. Kind of depends. And then wrap once without, twice without, trying to get in between, trying to make sure I'm not catching the wings and those beads are just laying nicely there. Well, thank you very much, Lynn. Yes, I think we're gonna find where our other metal, our other chevron. I was only able to find those. I thought we had it. I think we used it in another kit somewhere. So we are out. We might have to reorder the other finishes because it does look nice with just the metal. We were just waiting to do it with the enamel because I did do that yellow one during that bead along challenge. And we were hoping to have those, the enameled metal with it because it was fun that way to add color, but it does look spectacular just with the regular plated metal also, and letting the beads just pop, right? So I think this one's going to go up on our Etsy. I'll take a picture and stick that one up today. And I will make sure that our Starburst Mandala sets are up there too, so you can shop the both of them at the same time in time to get it for next week. Do apologize, you know, sometimes life throws us a little curveball, and we had a curveball this week, so we're just a little behind. So appreciate your patience with us with that. I do want to put a shout out to everybody that got something during our Halloween sale and played our fun games with us during our Q&A. I had a lot of fun doing the Q&A with you and playing games. So thank you, thank you. Oh, absolutely. You can also, if you wanted to have just the base and didn't want, like, since the enamel chains don't come in all the colors, you definitely could color these with alcohol inks, and different patinas that are out there for metal. Ranger ink has so many things that you can use, which is fabulous. But as you can see, this looks so much more intricate than it really is. So this is a very fun way to do something a little bit different, especially when you're looking for some gifts. Holiday gift season is coming up here, right? Or maybe just even a regular gift for somebody during the year. And if you got some decorative chains, some beads, and a little, you can have a pre-cuff too. If you have some pre-made cuffs, that would be fun. But this flat wire makes a quick one, which is so happy. I mean, the possibility is endless. So needless to say, you probably, if you've watched one of my lives before, if you make something with this technique, whether you are making it from our kits that we have, or if you are putting your own spin, maybe you are going to use a different decorative chain. Maybe you're using a cuff. Maybe you decided to use some alcohol inks maybe you decided, you know, something, you know, chose a different kind of bead to put on it. I would love to see it, and I hope you do share. And I am almost there, I see. Sorry, I have like a little funny thing going on here. So I noticed I didn't get, I forgot to push it back down. So before I go any further, I'm going to try to kind of swoosh it, swoosh it, swoosh it. Whoops, I meant to do that before. I might just leave it and see where I'm at over here, because maybe I need it over here to be a little looser, and then I'm going to just tighten that up a little. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. And then I'm on my last, look, I got to do one more. So I'm actually got 11 on mine today. Some of these I have 10, some of these I have 12. Some of them are 11. It's just how I started wrapping. They should have like the same amount, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't come off. They're just ever so slightly different. Let's get this I lost one of my wraps. So let's wrap that second wrap. Okay, 1, 2 wraps, and right here is where this bead goes. Push that bead up there and wrap. Well, I'm so glad, Cheryl, that you were able to join and got most of it wrapped. As you can see, it's pretty good. All you're going to have to do now is wrap it and then curl this back up and then form it. So it's pretty easy. You'll be able to do that. I bet she is. Yes. Why? I'm sure the moving wire is very fascinating to most animals and kids. So I'm just wrapping that one down. For that last one, I did switch this in the other way because right now with it on this side, I don't have anything to hold on to, like as far as the chain go, and it's very long here. So I'm flipping it around real quick so that I can secure this, because we don't want this guy to flip. So I'm going to just take it and wrap around that little tip. I'm going to wrap it around a couple times. And then wrap some more, because I did about 5 or 6 wraps, and voila. Now it does look like this is a little bit longer than what I need to match this, so it's good that I didn't quite move it all the way. I might try to Yep. That wire is so fascinating. I am going to cut the extra wire here about halfway across. Take my chain nose plier and press it down. Now I didn't press it super hard. I want this still to be able to kind of slide if I need to adjust this a little bit. I'm going to start. Uh-oh. Was that a boo-boo, or was that a I hope no one's upset. It looks like there's a lot of hearts now, so I'm glad. Thank you for that. So I'm going to switch over to my chain round nose pliers. I'm going to take the end here, and I'm going to remember to try to get that nice and flat in that direction, up against it, and start curling it. But because it's wider at the bottom than the top, it's going to be a little off, so I'm going to bring it, swap it around to the other side and continue. Okay, good, Sabrina. I know how easy it is to hit it, but then every once in a while, I don't know if that's really what it is. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was good. I've done that too, Sabrina. I totally, and I'm always like, I'm so sorry, because I know. So it's like caught off guard, you know. So no problem. Thank you though. Thank you. I didn't mean to call you out. I just wanted to make sure everybody was okay, that nobody was getting left behind in this, and they were understanding. That was all I was worried about. So I got that started with my round nose. It looks pretty good, and it looks pretty even. I want it to curl more, and it's really hard now at this point to use my round nose pliers and grab it to curl it more without making more little notchy craziness. See, it started to do it right here. It's curling in, so it's not going to show that much, but I am going to switch over to my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to hold and kind of bend it and reposition, grab that end again. I'm always trying to just grab that end so that I'm not trying to, try not to mar anywhere else. Occasionally you might have to switch it and move to another part, but you want to try to be as careful as you can to not mark it, right? Which is, you know, easier said than done. I understand, but this way, hopefully, and I'm just kind of grabbing it. I went not as close to the end, but I'm still, see, it's still going inside, so that all that matters. Any of the part that I might mark is inside the curl, so you won't really see it. I'm going to go over here and adjust this one a little bit so that they match. Actually, before I do that, before I adjust it, because if you need a longer, if you need that, when this curves around into the cuff and you need it longer, you keep them shorter, like this curl. And if you need it shorter, if you need this to be shorter for your cuff, you want to curl it in more, like this one. So it depends on now your cuff. Now I typically just use my hands to form this around, and I just I put my thumbs in the inside, and I bring my other fingers to kind of press, and I'm just going around and pressing around and pressing around. You can use a bracelet mandrel if you want. You can even use your very full glass of water that might actually spill and you can't see anyway. Never mind. You can use a glass though, or look, I have my chain thing, and I can kind of, if it was like a bigger, I could use that. But I'm just kind of like forcing mine into a circle and then an oval, because I want it more like an oval for my cuff. See how that one's kind of more like an oval. So I'm going to press those down in so that they're more . Well, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Oh, that's so fantastic, Christine. And there we go. Nice, nice. Looking good. Oh, absolutely. Yes, that crescent moon that we have. Oh, do I have one near me? Let's pull that out. Well done. Oh. Okay. For those that might not know what she means by crescent moon, when we have our crescent moon feather necklace, and then we have our crescent moon bracelet, and we use this chain right here, which is very similar to our chevron chain. It's a little wider, but I think, let's go grab a piece of that. Grab a piece of my extra flat wire. We're also going to get that flat wire up, by the way. Yes, you absolutely, looking at this. So see, it does go over it more, but that's not a problem because you'll just go right in between those links and you'll be able to build it the same way. Totally good thinking there, Sandra. Very good thinking. All right, let's see. So she broke it before. That's a good question. Let me get a little something to try to mimic that for you so that you can see what to do. I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, of course, you can always start over. That's not a problem. Or that could be a problem if you don't have enough wire. You do have to, when you're wrapping, it is really easy to get a kink. So you do have to make sure that you don't get little kinks in your wire when you're wrapping, and that might be where you had a little weak spot. But let's see, if we had a little piece of this chain, I'm going to just pull a little piece. And let me get I'm just like doing a quickie little mock-up so that you can kind of see what to do. So let me just get some of this on here real quick. I used to be really afraid of adding, but I'm not as afraid of adding wire like I used to be. So I think it's going to be possible. What I'm going to do is, let's see, would it be there? Okay, so let's get another piece of wire. Thank you, Wendy. I'm so glad you were able to jump on even being late. It's always good to see you in the live, and wonderful to hear when people watch the replay. So yes, absolutely. So say you broke it, right? And what I would do is unwrap it until you have maybe unwrap it so you have a little bit. So maybe you're unwrapping one, maybe you're unwrapping two, right? Depending on where, like I just cut it so I had a little bit of a tail. But if it broke like right at the edge here, you're going to want to probably unwrap maybe two. Then what I would do is for this case, it's all about hiding where you fix it. I am lifting it up and letting this wire go behind it, right? And absolutely, Sabrina, that would be a really fun way too. You can definitely use some cords to wrap. That would be lovely, lovely, lovely. We just went wire because I'm a wire girl, but absolutely. So then if this broke, so I'm going under and I'm just going to let this aim like halfway, right? And then I'll press that down. So I'm going to do this if this is a little too fast, don't worry, you'll be able to watch this in the replay and be able to do it also that way. And then with the new wire, So see how this wire is going downwards, right? I'm going to have the tail up and the working length there. And now I'm going to wrap around one full one. I'm still under the chain, right? One full one. Bring the chain back over. And then now I can continue wrapping it like I was with the wraps and the beads. And then this guy, we need to cut off some of that. So we're just going to get in there. So we hid most of that underneath the chain, so you won't really see it. You will see a little extra wire on the back, but it's still not that bad. I could have probably got these so that they weren't crossed over. If I was paying attention, you could make sure you don't cross it over. But basically that's under the chain. Kind of flatten that down a little bit if it's sticking up a little too much. And you're back to normal, and you're back to ready to wrap some more. So hopefully that helps you. If you didn't make it all the way across and you did get a little weak spot in your wire so it broke, you should be able to adjust that a little bit and be able to put that on there and fix that. Thank you. I hope that helped. No, I understand sometimes it's really hard to keep in stock on my, when I'm in a wire phase, it's really hard to keep in stock on my wire. And then I have to reorder, and then I hoard it for a while because, you know, I want to save it because I almost ran out. But then you use it again because it's so much fun. So hopefully that helps, answers that. Let's go back to our lovely fun little bracelet. I can then at this point try to even these out if I need to by either opening this one or not even care. I mean, really, do I care? Not really. It's fun regardless if they match or not, because once I have it on, no one knows. And we're going to just get this in the way out. There we go. Kind of scoot these. Ooh, that one got a little funky out of place there. Why are you going in a weird spot, you bead? Well, we're kind of squish it down. Before it's flattened, sometimes you can scoot it down very carefully, like before you curve it while it's still flat, you can kind of push down the beads so that they're a little more even, or not worry about it. Again, once I get it on, maybe I notice it while it's not on me, but once it's on my wrist, who's gonna know but me, right? Voila, I have a new bracelet. I have a new cuff bracelet, fits me great. You can either make it so that it's really tight, or you can make it a little loose so that it moves. You can adjust this part a little bit if you need to keep it on, but you know, that little bit usually is enough for my cuffs to hold on. They look fabulous stacked. So making more than one is super awesome. Look how fun they are stacked, right? Any questions on these? Thank you very much. Thank you, Wendy and Gail and Linda and Stacy and Tina. I'm glad that worked great. So this has been a really fun project to share with you. You will see on our Etsy the new color. This one, it will just be antique brass and teal. And then the other new one that will go on there is our white and gold, because the gold is the base. I am going to put teal in that because our metal doesn't have any of that, right? Thank you, Sabrina and Joy. And of course, we have all these other beautiful colors. Message us if you need to for any of the links that we talked about. If you haven't, or in the comments, but if you're having problems, just message us and we'll make sure you can get to them. Don't forget, next week at 2 p.m. is our Starburst. These are going up this weekend. They are named, in the picture it also has the name, but it is the middle color and the filigree base. So this is turquoise, antique brass. This is red gold. This is raspberry silver. This one's brick red, antique brass. This one's blue silver. And this one is pink gold. And those are going up this evening with the two new colors here. And starting next week, we will have our snowflake form kits. Remember, these snowflake form kits are going to, so this is for the 13th 2 o'clock class. And then for the 20th is our snowflake form. So we have a couple different colored snowflake kit combos that we will be doing, and they will have 4 different sizes. This is the largest. How big are what? Oh, these right here. It's a perfect pendant. It's a great ornament. It's a big earring, but it's very light, and I am going to make mine into that. They are less than 2 inches. They're about 2 inches. About 2 inches. Oh, it looks like maybe 2 inches on the dot, actually. 2 inches on the dot. 2 inches. So it's a good size pendant. When I flip this around, I'll hold one up against me. And then we'll have four in these kits. They're going to be 4 different sizes, and we're also going to show you how to make them 4 different ones, or combine them and make the double wire wrapped ones, which are really kind of fun. Also, stacking them. Great minds think alike. I just saw a few people, Beadalon and a few other people doing them too, and we're like, wow, we're all thinking the same this year. I think it's really funny, but I love it. I love it. I love it. Great minds. And then the 27th, we will be doing our Small Business Saturday sale. All right, let's see if I can flip this. Oh, can I flip this? Maybe. Ooh, ooh. Can I flip it and also have it at a height that looks good? Because you don't want to just see my neck. That's another question. So this is gonna, I know that the landscape is definitely better. I just have to get used to how to get this mount to sit in a way that you can see me, right? And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get better at this. Every time I get better, right? Right. Maybe I need to do more lives. That'd be so crazy if we did another live on another day. Anyway, so if you wanted to see kind of what these are, well, let's see. So that's, as you can see, it's a pretty good size pendant. You definitely wear it this way. It could be long and wear it further down too, because it is big enough to do that, but it does make a nice statement there. Like I said, I'm going to wear it as an earring because they are so much lighter than they look. So I think I'm going to try that. I love it. Of course, I'm all about the big earrings too. And then I also think it'd be really cool on a tree, like a little ornament on a tree. You could put like on the back, maybe you can put another, like a nice back that you could write, you know, what year it is or something. Would be really kind of a neat. So thank you so much. Whew, I don't know how to get this so that you can see my whole face and not just like that. Oh well, whatever. Who cares? You don't really need to see me. Yay! I'm so glad you got your stuff. So everybody should be receiving, anyone that got a prize or a mystery bag or something from the sale last week should be getting some of their packages already or coming to you. They're all out in the mail, all the ones that have been paid for, so they have been already sent. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. This was, you know, like I said, we had some curveballs this week, and so happy to be able to have some time with my beading friends and all of you out there. It really helps me, helps my soul, helps my heart, and I appreciate you. Until next week, we will bead in between. Please share if you made one of these cuffs today with me, or you're making it at any other time if you're watching the replay, or you're gonna go and watch the replay to make them. If you're making one of these and look how cool they are all stacked up, and you want to share what you make, I would love to see it. You can share on our Just Bead It Happy Beaders group. If you're part of that, please join that. If you're not, we have a wonderful group of people there. And or you can share on our Facebook page. Would love to see that too. Take care. Have a fantastic week until next week. And next week we'll be getting on our Starburst Mandala. Oh, that's so great to hear. So great to hear, Joy. Yes, yes. The bead fairies found a lot of fun things in the bead cave to put in those mystery bags. Oh, you're welcome, Evelyn. Thank you, Gal. Thank you, Catherine, Sandra, and Wendy, and Ermelinda, and Catherine, and Stacy. So glad. Have a fantastic week. Thank you, Sabrina. Bye-bye.